In today's program, is there any chance to leave Tashkent without a souvenir? Kalagai fashion, where to buy this headwear in Baku. Unusual shops of Almaty.
Usually during any of the trip we get interested in souvenirs, exclusive things and exotic products, full of national colors and folk traditions. For example, it's impossible to leave Russian capital city without balalaika, a famous Russian nesting doll, aka matryoshka. Or for example, having visited Mexico, you will surely buy a magnificent hat, sombrero, whether you need it or not. And you will never come back from India without buying any of Indian spices. It's just not right. Actually, it's inappropriate not to buy an unlimited number of mini Eiffel Towers from Paris. Hence, countries of our region are not exception to the rule. Once arrived here, anyone will have an opportunity to spend money on pretty nice things. Moreover, the Great Silk Road passed through our land, and we're actively reviving it today. To prove my point, I suggest you to go to Tashkent, the city which is called the Star of the East. Here are many things that can surprise and impress, from bright sunshine, smiling people, unusual architecture, to exclusive shops. There is a unique place in Tashkent which you can't pass. On the outside, it looks like a small traditional area of Tashkent. The thing that gives it away is a track beaten by the tourist to the gates of this gallery. Once you cross the threshold, something makes you wonder whether it is a fashion shop, whether a treasure of unseen beauty of Uzbek souvenirs and unique pieces of decoration, or is it an art platform for different cultural events. That's why it is a unique place where you can buy some exclusive national items, but also you can dive into Asian culture of Uzbek nation.
У этого места есть душа. Сейчас это очень важный момент, когда ты приходишь не просто в магазин что-то купить.
This place has its own soul. Today, it's a very crucial point. Not just to have a shopping, to buy something, or to come to the workshop to make something. What's more important is the human relations and the emotional warmth, which is probably most valued by our guests. The other important aspect is hospitality. My mother used to teach me since my childhood to be nice and offer some tea to anyone who comes to my house. These hospitality traditions remain in our house.
Гостеприимство, они в этом доме до сих пор соблюдаются.
Lola Saif and her friends, who are painters and designers, came up with the idea of making this kind of shop in 2000s, when they thought that there was a need of marketplace for creative people, where they could buy exclusive handmade clothing and accessories made as a piece of art with national colors.
Мы сотрудничаем с очень многими международными организациями.
We are cooperating with many international organizations, such as embassies, which attend our shop regularly. In a few days, French embassy is going to arrange a jazz concert. We also cooperate with the United Nations. We give master classes. Those projects that go through our gallery and cultural center have an influence on arts not only inside our building but beyond, in the whole country, and also in Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Tajikistan.
Ремесла вообще в регионе. В Узбекистане, в Казахстане, в Киргизии, в Таджикистане.
Today, this art space is the most iconic place in the capital city of Uzbekistan because it's more than just a shop, but a cultural center. Film exhibitions are free of charge here. Also, fashion shows and meetings with interesting people are held here.
Мы сотрудничаем с очень большим количеством ремесленников, поэтому у нас есть ручная вышивка, это и старинные какие-то...
We cooperate with many craftsmen. That's why we have a lot of hand embroidery, new and old Suzani, jewelry, handmade fabrics, ikat, and handmade shoes and purses.
Тоже вручную вышито, вручную сделано, сумки.
Недавно я приехала сюда, на родную землю, вновь вступила.
I recently came to my homeland and I was invited by my old friends and musicians, Registan Band. I haven't seen them for a long time. They invited me to this wonderful place to have a photo shoot here. Since I'm going to leave again, I will bring a lot of gifts and souvenirs for my family and friends. On top of that, different handmade art workshops are held here. Art platform gives an opportunity for Uzbek craftsmen not only talk about their craft, but teach how to create handmade masterpieces.
Я очень обожаю здесь находиться, особенно когда здесь проводятся какие-то мастер-классы.
I love being here, especially when they have master classes. The last time they held a flexibility classes where we were lying on the exercise mat, it was so quiet and calm. We listened to the birds singing. It felt like a countryside. It was hard to believe that we were in the center of the city. Besides, I love this place for the opportunities to meet with interesting people of art. Different writers, artists, and musicians. Generally, it's an inspiration for me.
Артисты, певцы. В общем, это источник вдохновения для меня.
In a word, it's hard to pass this place by. Once you came here, you can't live without buying at least a small souvenir, since the variety of unique and exclusive goods make you feel dizzy.
В нашем ателье вы можете себе заказать любую эксклюзивную.
In our studio, you can order any exclusive clothes for yourself, tailor a designer item, remake spoiled or old clothes. Our masters can adapt it in a beautiful way. By the way, there was such a case. Someone brought us an old grandfather's overcoat. Our masters were able to make a gorgeous female coat out of it. Everyone was happy. We ourselves were surprised by this idea. Unique Uzbek Suzani, Brishtan ceramics, leather handmade items, beautiful unusual clothing of national style, all these things can be found here. Well, if you love natural Uzbek fabrics with a specific print and all the things that can be created from the fabric, you should choose the direction to a wonderful fairy world of satin, crêpe de chine, chiffon, and georgette. It is a prize not only for the travelers and finders of souvenirs, but also for the famous and new designers who value quality and beauty.
Мы производим разные виды тканей, то есть креп-де-шиновая ткань.
We produce different types of fabrics: crêpe de chine, satin, muslin, crêpe georgette, crêpe chiffon, and others. These types of fabrics have the same silk structure, but different weave.
Переплетение нитей, а состав один и тот же, то есть шелк.
Here you can find a wide choice of natural silk fabrics, and even more. Finished goods are also available here, such as handkerchiefs, scarves, pillows, blankets, and other accessories with unique Uzbek prints. And the color palette will impress the most sophisticated customer. How these fabrics are created. At first, selected cocoons are delivered here. In the factory, cocoons are being sorted. After that, there is a processing of manufacturing and we get raw silk. Manufactured fabrics being sent to the twine. This is how twisted silk is made. After that, fabric is starched, covered with prints, and displayed on the window shop. Then designers start creating their masterpieces. The products of the shop meet world standards and the demand increases. Manufacturing company takes part as a partner at the most famous fashion shows of Uzbekistan and beyond. Thanks to that, Uzbek silk managed to make a statement on the world runaways.
I
guess after the story of our Uzbek colleagues, you have placed a mark in your notebook. Hurry up, because the tourist flow to Uzbekistan is rising up every day. If you are not managed to get to this country, then safely travel to Azerbaijan, especially to the capital city. It's one of the tourist strongholds of the last decades where East and West perfectly complete each other. By the way, you can have a nice shopping experience in Baku and you won't be disappointed. It is worth it. There are no limits for the true art. Different souvenirs, handmade creations keep sweet memories and decorate our houses. These items reflect not only national traditions but also creative approach of their creators. In the historical center of Baku, almost at every step you can find boutiques selling such items. These are various crafts, handcrafts, decorations for every taste. We decided to look into one of these shops and immediately realized that everything was there: figurines made of porcelain, wooden and glass vessels with national ornaments, dolls, and much more. A distinctive feature of this place is that here you can meet the authors of all these things. A young painter, Narimana Basova, is the author of the epoxide bijou, which are very popular among young people. She makes bracelets, rings, chains, and she says that tourists are interested in her works, as well as the local people.
Bunlar zinət əşyalardır. Mən epoksid üzrə işləyirəm. Təbii güllərin dondurulması.
These are women's bijou made with dry flowers. For this kind of bijou, small flowers are used. I buy them or collect and dry them inside the box. Then I paint special fittings or shapes and wait till it dries. After it dries, I decorate it according to my own taste. After that process, I put the epoxide resin for complete hardening. As a result, after 4 days, I get this lavalier. According to the artist, real flowers can be given an artificial decor. In order to get a more spectacular and beautiful result, it is desirable to give preference to various forms. It doesn't harm the originality of the presented things. On the contrary, gives them a more attractive look.
Mən klonları hazırlayaraq ona tək güllərlə yox, dırnaq aksesuarları ilə də dekor edirəm.
Decorating a flower, I also use nail accessories that are in fashion today. Here, see, this is a living flower. It has already dried and hardened, but I process these parts with accessories. In my opinion, it looks better. In addition, while working, I do not use only fittings. There are special plastic forms in which dried and hardened objects look good.
İki tərəfdən də gül görsənir.
In many similar shops in Azerbaijan today, you can see these glass vessels with patterns. In general, stained glass is a special trend in the country. Our next companion is a master of stained glass, Amina Mamedova. She says that for her to paint stained glass is a hobby. Having a law degree under her belt, she once took a great interest in art, then graduated from the Academy of Arts and has been engaged in an interesting and fascinating work for almost 10 years.
Mən məsələn ikinci təhsilimi rəssamlıq üzrə almışam. Pedaqoji Universitetin Bədii Qrafika fakültəsini bitirmişəm, amma biz əsasən kətan üzərində işləyirdik.
Compared to others, I work with bigger glass containers, for example, fruit and sugar bowls and many others. My colleagues prefer making smaller items. By the way, they are more popular. At the same time, the quality is the most important thing for me. That's why I use only high-quality materials for the stained glass souvenirs. Selling handmade items in such boutiques is very important to us, because most of all, they are bought by foreigners. And recently, there has been an increase in the number of tourists. Therefore, they often call me from the store and ask me to bring new products.
Ona görə turistlər çox olur. Artıq abaddan zəng olunur ki, məsələn, məhsul gətirin də, məhsula tələbat var.
Amina says that it's very difficult to make several vessels with the same pattern. For example, glasses in the form of a pear. As a rule, they are sold in the form of a set of 6 pieces. Therefore, no glass should differ in its patterns from another. The entire workflow is done manually, respectively. It takes a lot of time and effort. People now prefer handmade products. I feel like they are tired of famous brands. Sometimes I get orders even from my friends and relatives because everyone wants to give their loved ones original things. In Old Baku, there are shops that sell kelagai. This is the Azerbaijani national women's silk headdress. This shop, despite the small area, is never empty. Tourists have a particular interest. Hayat Khalilov gives this traditional shawls a new design and notes that thereby attracts more attention of buyers. The ones that are on the window shop are also Hamsa, but they are made in a more modern style. Customers like it. Tourists, as well as the local people, like this kind of patterns. They're queenery, so it looks better on kelagai. It is a new approach.
Dizayn seçdiyi ki, yəni həm xaricilər tərəfindən, həm yerli insanlar tərəfindən anlaşılsın.
It's interesting that only men take part in the process of creation kelagai. It is an Azerbaijani tradition. Why? Because it's rather hard and gentle work. Kelagai is supposed to be in each home of Azerbaijan. Before it could be seen only during some holidays, but now it became a popular women's headwear. That's why every woman has it in her wardrobe.
Kelagayın ölçüsü müəyyəndir, 1.60-dan 1.60-a.
Kelagai is made of silk. Usually, it has a size of 160 by 160 centimeters. There is also a rule that kelagai must easily go through the ring. Today, these headwears can be made in a smaller size, according to customers' design. Getting into different places, we look for things and souvenirs which will remain in our sweet memory. And these small stands and shops are so helpful in this matter, and it all thanks to the people who put their heart and soul into it.
Ну а теперь Алма-Ата – это удивительный город, про который говорят, что если ты однажды...
And now let's talk about Almaty. It's an amazing city, and it is said, if you came here once, you will stay here forever, or at least you will be returning here over and over again. Not to be distracted from the main subject of today's program, I will tell you that Almaty is now called the shopping center of the CIS, thanks to a huge number of shopping malls, markets, pavilions, small shops and boutiques. You can buy anything here. And those who are tired of globalization and want to spend money on some national colors and exclusive things, it won't be a problem, believe me.
То, поверьте, с этим у вас проблем категорически не будет.
Aygulzhan Serikova is a well-known person in Kazakhstan. She's running her business successfully, and at the same time, she's among the best Kazakh ethnic designers. Unique felt items which are produced by Aygul are popular in Kazakhstan and beyond. Today, Aygulzhan Serikova is the head of Kazakh Uner, the Center of Craftsmen, which was established in Almaty to restore and develop Kazakh traditional handicraft and to maintain domestic tourism. In spite of the fact that the center was opened recently, it's already found its place on the map of the city and became one of the interesting sightseeing places. Attractive point of the center is the showroom, where all types of our handicrafts are present. In other words, when you come to our showroom, which is probably the only one in Almaty or even in Kazakhstan, you can find all types of traditional handicrafts. You can find items made of felt, leather, wood, ceramics, and wonderful jewelry. All handmade items by our craftsmen are of high quality. But when we talk about traditional Kazakh crafts, usually natural materials are used. It includes leather, natural wool, silver, clay, and etc. I believe that at present, there is a tendency when the world begins to appreciate ecological and ethnic products, and Kazakh culture, Kazakh crafts are in trend at the same time. Only real craftsmen are capable to create high-quality products. They're true stars.
В нашем шоуруме представлены, например, ювелирные украшения известных таких наших зергеров, как Естай Даубаев.
There are jewelries, our famous zergers, such as Yestai Daubayev, Kisinali Askarov. Their works are present in our showroom. Ceramic products of Kazakhstan, famous craftsman from Abay Uzbekov, who deliver his works from Turkestan. He makes unique items which are prototype of the Asian containers and jars that were found during excavations of Asian cities such as Sauran, Sarayshik, Atrar. Tourists find it interesting.
Потом у нас есть работы.
We have works of those craftsmen who restored old styles of handicraft. For example, Zeynalhan Muhammadjan has restored Biskesti technique. It is an embroidery, hand embroidery, and chain work. He is bringing up a whole generation of craftsmen. For example, wooden products. We have wonderful craftsmen who make a style. We have a team of craftsmen who not only kept our traditions and handcrafts, but also pass it on to a new generation. We offer a one-time or an hourly master classes. There are such master classes when tourists come for a whole week to weave some carpet with us or learn some craft. And there are workshops where people want to do it seriously, like their own business. They want to turn this craft not only into a hobby, but into an opportunity to earn money, improve their social status, improve their financial situation. And these people take serious courses for several months.
Социальный статус или как повысить свое экономическое положение, то эти люди получают серьезные курсы и в несколько месяцев.
Well, Almaty became the first tourist center of the country, and it has been proved in practice that the country's image benefits greatly from the souvenir gifts.
Не секрет, что большинство жителей Казахстана хотя бы раз в год выезжают.
It's not a secret that most of the citizens of Kazakhstan travel at least once a year. Moreover, the chosen routes are different. Turkish direction still remains one of the favorite one. Usually, people go to Turkey for the famous beaches and to visit historical places. Someone is carried away with hiking through the old Istanbul. Others travel to taste fine cuisine of Turkish chefs. And there are some people who are attracted by Turkish craftsmen. Many people will be happy to hear that. Now it's not necessary to travel to Turkey to get these beautiful things, and there is no need to worry about bringing them home in a safe condition. As soon as you cross the threshold of this market, the thought immediately comes to your mind. It seems, or am I, definitely in Istanbul? And no wonder, because the idea of the appearance of such a retail outlet in Almaty originated long ago from a Turkish citizen, Ramazan Dirik.
Я жил здесь, в Казахстане, 20 с лишним лет. Я заметил...
I lived here in Kazakhstan for more than 20 years, and I noticed that it's hard to find a gift here.
Большая проблема. И я решил помочь людям.
And I've decided to help people to present more exclusive and unique gifts. Turkey is exactly the place where the gift is the landmark. Local craftsmen are famous for their handmade products and large variety.
Эту продукцию в Турции из разных регионов.
Here are goods from different parts of Turkey. Each region has its culture. People of Kazakhstan are interested in the goods which are brought here. People of Kazakhstan are interested in the goods which I brought here. When people come here, it makes them feel like they are in Turkey. There is a large variety of different goods. Each has its own history. Ramazan initially set a goal to open a store which will have no analogs not only in the Commonwealth of Independent States, but even in Turkey. After all, to unite an assortment of 30 directions under one roof is expensive.
Этот товар очень долго готовится.
This whole product takes a very long time to prepare, and it doesn't come from the same hands. First, we start with the raw material. Then one master, according to his specialty, makes templates. After, a template is transferred to another master. He adds something in his specialty. The third master does the drawing, adds something according to his specification. After all this, the goods come in finished form. Handmade products, despite the small volume, require great effort. It can take 1 day, or maybe 7, or even 10. Well, let's go through the market and see what visitors are offering here. More than 2,000 items are sold. First of all, ceramic products. Amazing forms, bright, rich colors, filigree work of artists cause a storm of positive emotions.
Над каждым товаром автора есть подпись, handmade, написано. Также в истории.
Under each item there is the author's signature. It is written handmade. All this from history. Just like before, a product is made according to the old traditions. These products can be made not from any clay. It must be a special clay. Masters take this clay and manually create a form. Then it is sent to the furnace with a temperature of 900-950 degrees. The drawing is applied. After it is placed in the oven again. And after all these steps, we have such a beauty.
Процедура в печи, выходит такая красота.
A large variety of shapes in this part of the shop makes you feel dizzy. Here you can find products made of copper, copperware, decor items. Introducing us to the store, Ramazan, of course, could not help but brag of various decorative products and interior items. And these products are made of Turkish walnut. A variety of different jewel boxes, trunk boxes, chairs, tables, chess sets, and others. Gentle work and unusual patterns impress with the beauty. There is a hope that one day Ramazan will manage to present the same goods but made by Kazakh craftsmen. And this is the department with famous swords, yatagans, and other historical samples of cold steel arms.
Эти модели история около 1500.
Each sword has its own history. Here you see 10 different models. The history of the models of the swords is already 1,500 years old and ends with the beginning of the 20th century. Many sultans, many emperors held such forms of swords in their hands.
Такие формы мечей. У нас в маркете это особое место турецкие сладости.
We have a special corner in our market, Turkish delights. Chocolate, rahat lokum, Kazakh ndibi, sweets made of chestnut, baklava, and many more.
Baklava и другие сладости. Сюда люди, когда заходят,
This place has a special meaning for me. When people come here, we treat them with sweets. They taste it and it makes them feel like they are in Istanbul.
в Стамбуле.
Hopefully we've made you feel like you have visited a famous Grand Bazaar in Istanbul. If you ever have a chance to visit Almaty, you should know that there is an opportunity to see a small piece of Turkey.
Ну вот и все на сегодня.
That's all for today. You have watched Colors of Asia. I hope you had a good time with us and found out some interesting information that was presented here. Well, let's keep in touch. Email us, give us a call, and ask us questions. Share your ideas with us. Until then, goodbye, and see you next time.